Who doesn't love a thrilling book full of suspense? Whether you are an adult or a teenager, we all have a profound love for suspense books. But are all books worthy of reading at once? I don't think so. Some books can take your days with their slow story, and some give you an adrenaline rush after every page. Reading a thriller will certainly get your heart racing, force you to flip the page at breakneck speed, and leave you feeling uneasily satisfied with the knowledge that you have no idea what will happen next. This season is the perfect time to get comfortable, pour yourself a drink, and let these spine-tingling thrillers make your blood flow as cold as ice. In this day and age, when actual crime and suspense are all the rage, there is no better time to do so. Also, if you enjoy suspense books, you know how difficult it is to put them down once you begin. Here we compiled a list of our picks for the top suspense books of all time and our picks for the finest new thriller books published in 2022. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to never miss an update. Links to the books are given in the description below. Number 10. A Simple Favor by Darcy Bell. A press school teacher who started writing is now the best-selling author of famous publications. Darcy's works were turned into a film that received unanimous praise from film critics and starred Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick. This book is one of the famous books of Darcy, which Harper released to the public for the first time on March 21, 2017. The main character, Stephanie, is a mom blogger who spends most of the book investigating the circumstances behind her close friend, Emily's unexplained departure from their Connecticut community. Betrayals and changes of direction, twists and turns, revelations and disclosures, love and devotion, and murder and retribution are just some of the themes explored in A Simple Favor, which is a unique tale of psychological suspense. It begins with a small favor, an everyday act of generosity that mothers perform for one another. Stephanie gladly agrees when Stephanie's best friend, Emily, asks her to bring up her kid Nikki from school after school. The recent car tragedy that took the lives of Stephanie's husband and half-brother resulted in Stephanie's widowhood. The disaster occurred when the couple's vehicle crashed into the back and fell off a bridge. Number 9. Night Shift by Robin Cook. American physician and author Robin Cook combines the medical thriller genre with his writing. Cook's writings fuse science fiction and medical realism. In writing medical thrillers, he hopes to keep the public apprised of the advances in medical technology and the moral dilemmas that arise from them. The Night Shift is a book told from the views of three persons with unique relationships to the story's direct killings. It is one of these library collections where no one writer's viewpoint is any lesser fascinating than the others. This makes it one of the best books to read if you're looking for a page-turner. On the night before the year 2000, in the state of New Jersey, a bunch of teenagers is stabbed to death at a Blockbuster video store. This is where everything gets started. A suspect is identified, but shortly afterward, they skip jail and disappear. The mystery is never explained or resolved. After 15 years have passed, a catastrophe of the same kind occurs, except this time, it takes place in an ice cream parlor. On that particular evening, 4 young employees working at Blockbuster are assaulted horrifically. Ella is the sole survivor after 3 others are put to death. Another teenage boy, Vince Whitaker, is promptly viewed as a suspect in this case. In connection with the offense, Vince is taken into custody and released on bail, after which it vanishes without a trace, destined never to be seen again. Number 8. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Being widely considered to be one of the best writers of suspense currently working, Flynn's work has been translated into 40 different languages and has been adapted for the big screen on many occasions. Gillian Flynn, one of our most celebrated thriller authors, takes the statement to its deepest hole in her utterly fascinating masterpiece. The author Gillian Flynn bases the story of her novel Gone Girl around the troubled married connection of Nick and Amy Dunn. Nick was a journalist by trade, although he was no longer employed in the field. Nick decides to leave New York City and return to his more modest hometown of North Carthage due to his dire financial situation. Nick decides to build a bar with the money given to him by his wife to make up for his previous lack of financial stability. Nick and his twin sister Margot are the bar proprietors, enabling them to earn enough money to support their families. However, as time passes, his marriage to Amy gradually becomes more unstable. Amy feels hatred against her new existence, and the story moves on. Number 7. And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. An English author, created about 75 books and plays. There is no doubt that Christie is the most well-known mystery writer in the world. This book is about 10 people on a deserted island. It just so happens that 10 total strangers have been invited to spend the weekend together on a deserted island off the coast of Britain. They are entirely unaware that they have all been called there by an absent host. Everyone took to the place is immediately suspected of committing an unsolvable murder. As the number of victims climbs, the guests struggle in their own unique ways to come to terms with their personal emotions of guilt. The significance of justice is revealed via the Confession of Justice Wargrave. The excitement of reading an Agatha Christie book comes from the fact that in many of them, you take on the role of the investigator. Christie paints such a vivid and detailed picture of the story's setting and characters in the beginning that it's hard not to feel sad and mad as we see them all die one after the other. Number 6. The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Hardy. The suspenseful and horrifying have long been staples in the reading diets of many people. Thomas is the most well known for being the author of Dr. Hannibal Lecter, considered one of the most infamous anti-heroes in all of American literature. The novel The Silence of the Lambs follows the story of FBI agent Clara Starling and her mission to uncover a serial killer who has been kidnapping women. However, for her to feel like a serial killer, she needs to first have an understanding of how the mind of such a criminal operates. Thomas Harris's work, The Silence of the Lambs, was first released in 1988 and is both a crime thriller and a crime story. Clara Starling, a trainee with the FBI, is the protagonist of this book. Throughout the course of the story, she becomes more and more involved in the pursuit of serial killer Buffalo Bill. This book addresses the issue of violence against women and involves descriptions of transgender individuals that are dated and may be upsetting to some readers. Number 5. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. Known as Carl Stieg Erland, was a Swedish author and journalist. While still in high school, Stieg often wrote and became interested in far-left politics after being influenced by his grandfather's fierce anti-fascist stance. Girl with a Tattoo tells an original, beautifully dramatic story. The story starts with the journalist Mikael Blomkvist attempting to make his way through a mob of hungry journalists. It is about Harriet Vancher, a youthful member of one of the wealthiest people in Sweden, who vanished 40 years ago. It is also about her elderly uncle, who is eager to reveal the truth about just what he believes was her murder. The novel comprises a crime story, a family drama, a love story, and a financial drama. These elements combine to create an entertainingly complicated and satisfyingly atmospheric work of fiction. Number 4. The Vacation by John Merritt. The man who is known for his suspenseful thriller, this time, John added all the right feels with a vacation theme. Every book speaks a different story. From the titles to the conclusions, the stories are into something of their own. The Vacation by John Mars is a suspenseful thriller with a vacation theme. 4 of your closest friends and their spouses and kids were going to spend a week in an opulent villa in Provence for their ideal vacation, which Kate had planned as the ultimate way to turn 40. But even in paradise, there are problems. Kate believes her husband is having an affair with another lady, who is one of her closest friends. One of these women is prepared to jeopardize her family and years of friendship. Who though? To know that, download the book to read. Number 3. The Party House by Lynn Anderson. From short stories to novels, not even one writing of Lynn is ignored by people. The House Party is an engaging novel, told from alternating viewpoints that examine how differences in wealth and power can quickly upend friendships, career opportunities, community members, and marriages. A woman of intelligence, taste, and care, Major Jensen gives her dream home in Philadelphia's suburbs great consideration to every detail. Written in the style of Lucy Foley and Ruth Ware, Lynn Anderson's The Party House is a psychological thriller set in the Scottish Highlands that is rich in atmosphere. The residents of Blackrig, a small village in the Scottish Highlands, are outraged when they learn that the neighboring estate plans to reopen its luxury party house to tourists. Despite the community's recent emotional and physical devastation from a global epidemic brought in by strangers. Number 2. Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll. The fearlessness of convention and determination to change how women are portrayed in fiction is inspiring. The book and film adaptations include some of the most emotionally devastating parts of Knoll's real-life experience, and so is this story. The book's protagonist is a young lady who, after enduring a horrifyingly traumatic experience when she was younger, tries to start over as an adult by changing her appearance and personality. Annie Finelli, the book's main character, is also regarded by several other names throughout the course of the narrative, including Tiffany, Tiff, and Finny. The film version of the book with the same name, Luckiest Girl Alive, is based on a true story. Even though the majority of Luckiest Girl Alive is a fictional story, the person who wrote this article drew inspiration for certain aspects of the main character Annie's backstory, from things that actually occurred in her own life. Also, let me tell you that this book was a New York Times bestseller. Number 1. The Blame Game by Sandy Jones. From a freelancer writer to writing for publications, Jones has written many inspiring books. Being the bestseller, the book has received many good reviews, and so is mine. The Blame Game is the finest work of Jones. The book starts where it is evident that many problems in a business can be traced back to employees playing the blame game with one another. How people handle credit and blame influences their output levels and the quality of their relationships. Naomi, a clinical psychologist treating victims of domestic violence, has found that it is challenging to prevent herself from becoming profoundly involved in the lives of her clients. Naomi is concerned that she has gone too far after assisting Jacob in arriving at the conclusion that he should separate from his wife. Jones gradually provides us with information regarding Naomi's past. It is clear to us early on that she has been through a traumatic experience and has first-hand wisdom of household or domestic abuse. This is one of the things that drives her to work as a mental health professional. I would end this with a question, that who doesn't love some suspense books? Right, we all at some age in our life. So at whatever age you are at, I am telling these books should be at your list to read. Apart from that, I hope you had a good time listening to the book names and their little intros. If the video helped you find the next book you are going to read, then like and share this video. Let me know in comment section on what type of books I should cover in my next video. Also, if you read one of the books mentioned in this video, share your review or thoughts with us. Subscribe this channel for more such awesome videos. Thanks for watching.